Hey, it's time for the Frisco Fan Cam brought to you by Gate City Bank. Big game James McCarty, and Jace has made an appearance back.
How about that, guys?
And I thought you would be a great person to bring on for a fan cam right away because, of course, your Coyotes made the national semifinal, played Tommy Millott in the Bobcats, and you have firsthand experience as to what the Bison are going to be in store for on Monday.
Well, when it comes to Montana State, from watching that game of USD playing against Montana State, Tommy Millott is obviously the real deal. You got to have to find a way to slow him down. The Coyotes did as well as they could in that matchup. They came up short inside the red zone twice in the second half. I think it was even both when we're inside the 10-yard line. Couldn't get those touchdowns that they needed. They lost 31-17. But obviously Montana State, their defense did well enough against the Coyotes' explosive players that they have. And then obviously the offense did enough to get 31 points on the board. So it's not going to be an easy task for NDSU, but NDSU, obviously, James, they overcame a tough SDSU team twice this season. So SDSU is one of the premier teams in the country right now, obviously, as well. So this should be a fantastic matchup. I personally think it's kind of a coin flip of a game right now. It'll depend on, obviously, the normal stereotype things, James. Who can control the line of scrimmage on both offensive line and defensive line? Who controls the time of possession? And then, obviously, turnovers are always key. Who is going to be able to take advantage of turnovers? We saw last night in the Georgia-Notre Dame game, those turnovers that Georgia had inside the red zone once, interception later, that really cost them when it was a close 6-3 game. Before you knew it, it was 17-3 after a opening second half kickoff return for a touchdown. So whoever can stay away from having the big splash plays against them, and obviously the opposite of that, if you can make the big splash plays, you're going to put yourself in a position to win.
And so I wanted to piggyback quick off of, you had mentioned 2 red zone trips for South Dakota, of course, and you also brought up, just how they weren't able to get the job done. You have 2 all-conference, fringe all-American type running backs at South Dakota. You guys did. Good offensive line. The Bison want to try and ground and pound that football, as we know. What did that defense do that was able to minimize Tice and Pierre Jr., of course, 2 really, really solid backs that present 2 different ways to run the football?
Well, I think that when you play against South Dakota, you have to worry about Travis Tice. I think he's now the all-time touchdown leader in Coyote history. Obviously, I think he's a senior this year, so I think he's done after this. But you're able to just kind of pack the box because he's kind of a between-the-tackles guy. Charles Pierre Jr., he is a just touchdown and exciting play waiting to happen. Tries to get the outside. I can't remember. I think he was one of the guys that scored out there in Bozeman. But I think that you just kind of have to do what you always do, is try and win the line of scrimmage, obviously, minimize those running attacks so that they can't really sustain that. But I think both teams, in a sense, are going to want to try and run the ball first and then do play-action pass over the top. Obviously, I kind of think Tommy Millott runs the ball a bit more than Cam Miller, but obviously we've seen year after year Cam can run when he needs to and make things happen. Cam is one of the smartest quarterbacks in all of the FCS. So, like I said, this to me is a coin flip. It's a toss-up of who's going to win this game.
I'm going to do the one question at the end. Prediction for the game. If you can't give one, you can't, but what are you thinking Monday night at 6?
24-21, the team that scores 24 wins.
Okay. All right. We can handle that. Somebody's going to win the football game. So that's another Gate City Bank Frisco Fan Cam. Stay tuned as we're going to keep having more of these the next couple of days.